back on.
Make sure that you don't look at that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they'll see that you're looking at something else. The only person.
I just want to, so when I go like that, I could tell if it's right in the frame or not.
Hello. I'm a student nurse, and I'm here to gather some information in this interview. Before we start, could you tell me your name and your birth date?
My name is Omfile Sao. I'm 35. I was born on Independence Day. You do the math.
Is it Umfili?
Umfile.
Umfile. Thank you. Umfile, can you tell me a little about your past medical history?
Well, my past medical history.
Okay, I'm really sorry. My microphone's doing this again. I thought I had it fixed.
Was it inside the cut? Was it inside?
It keeps flopping over.
You want to just let the neck looser?
There we go. Let's try that. I'm trying to keep it from hitting the fabric, and it's
Right.
making this crackling.
Right.
Okay. You might want to
Start
start over.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hello. I'm a student nurse, and I'm here to gather some information. Would you mind telling me your name and your birth date?
My name is Omfile Sao. I'm 35. I was born on Independence Day. You can do the math.
Could you show me your bracelet, please? Thank you. Omfili?
Umfile.
Omfile. Omfile, can you tell me a little bit about your past medical history?
Well, when I was in high school, I was diagnosed with diabetes. They said I needed to take 2 insulin shots a day, and I tried to do it regular, but it's hard. When I was 20, they said I had high blood pressure, and they gave me some sort of pills to take, but I never took them. I just drink tea instead. And they said now there's something wrong with my kidneys. They say it has to do with my sugar being too high or too low or something, but it doesn't really bother me. And I have these big wounds on my feet. I mean, they hurt so bad. So much pus is coming out.
I'm told that you're a regular visitor here to the hospital. Is that true?
Yes, they see me here quite much for my diabetes, but now my feet, they feel worse now.
Do you have any allergies?
No allergies that I know of, except for cats.
Would you mind telling me your history of family medical problems?
Well, my mother, she is still living. She has high blood pressure. My father, he died of AIDS when I was young.
How would you describe your usual state of health?
My usual state of health, well, I have diabetes, high blood pressure. They say something's wrong with my kidneys now, and how do you think it is? And now this problem with my feet just keeps getting worse with all this pus coming out.
When was the last time you felt entirely well?
Okay, let's stop there.
Okay.
I want you to add in, so that how would you describe your usual state of health? I want you to add in, I'm 35 and I feel like an old man.
All right.
Add that one up. I'm all messed up. So say what you said, which is fine, and then add in, I'm only 35, and I already feel like an old man. How do you? I'm all messed up or whatever.
And before that, if you can, remember that I think I have a leprosy. I think I look like I have leprosy. It gives us an idea. I'm going to repeat that question, okay?
Okay.
How would you describe your usual state of health?
My usual state of health, well, I have diabetes, high blood pressure. Now they say there's something wrong with my kidney. And these wounds on my foot are killing me. So much pus is coming out. It looks like I have leprosy or something. And I'm only 35. I feel like an old man. I'm all messed up.
When was the last time you felt entirely well?
Well, the last time I felt well was when I got high. I felt great then.
Tell me a little bit more about the events that led up to you coming to the hospital this time.
Well, I came here to get more bandages for my foot to stop all the pus from coming out. They kept me here because they said something was wrong with my kidneys. So they kept me here for to hydrate me.
Okay, pause there. I want the dog to come out in that one.
Mhm.
So you ran out of the bandages. You came in because there's all kinds of pus. This says that shit smells so bad that my dog does not even want to sleep next to me. So that's where I want the dog to, because it's more casual to kind of, because your dog is kind of like your partner, you
Yeah.
know. So you want it to be like, that led you because your dog wouldn't even sleep next to you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
They wanted to keep you because of the kidneys. They were worried about infection in the bones in your feet. Okay, so that's another, it's called osteomyelitis, and it's like a really big concern for diabetics. All I know is my feet hurt like hell. No one will give me anything. They say they're giving me something in my IV, but I know it's just water going in there. So here you're kind of accusing them of not giving you pain medicine.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you want to pick it up?
Mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit more about the events that led up to you coming to the hospital this time.
Well, I came to the hospital because I ran out of bandages for my feet. I need to get bandages on these things so all the pus is coming out. This shit smells horrible, so bad my dog won't even want to lay next to me. I'm just trying to get it fixed. And they kept me here because of my kidneys. They said something was wrong. So they wanted to put fluids in me with an IV. But I know it's just water. These people don't care if you're sick. They just want to get you out of here and put you back on the streets.
Okay, we're going to redo that one again. So when you get up to the thing about your kidneys, that's fine. Don't forget about the infection in the bones in your feet.
All right.
Okay? And then your feet hurt, and you want to get pain medicine. So you're like looking for pills or like powder or something, right?
Yeah.
And so they're telling you that they're giving you your medicine in your IV. Not the fluids, but like the medicine in the IV. But it's like they're just giving you fake stuff. They've done that before. There have been many times. I know that the system and how it works. They do not care about sick people in here. All they care about is kicking you to the street. So here you're like kind of showing your disgust with the hospital. Like, my feet hurt. They tell me that they're giving me something for pain in my IV, but I don't believe them. They don't really care about people who are sick. They, you can abbreviate that a little bit. I know that I had to do one script and I had 8 lines and I was freaking out. So I didn't realize it till after I wrote this script how intensive it is. So I completely understand. But just don't forget the infection. The pain medicine is what you're looking for. Some kind of something that you can see and put your hands on. And then that you're kind of disgusted. Like you hate this hospital, but you don't have any other choices.
Yeah. So I just say there's something wrong with my bones or my feet?
They think that there's an infection in the
Okay.
bones of your feet.
Okay.
Tell me a little more about the events that led up to you coming to the hospital this time.
Well, I ran out of bandages for my feet. I need more bandages because so much pus is coming out. The shit's crazy. My dog won't even sleep next to me anymore. So I came in to get some bandages, and they kept me over because of my kidneys, and they think there's something wrong with the bones of my feet. And it hurts so bad, I just want to get some pills or medication or something. They put me on an IV, they say that's what they're doing, but I really know that they're just putting water in there. I've been here many times. I know how the system works. These people don't care about sick people. They just want to get you back on the streets.
You say that you have been in the hospital before because of your diabetes. Have you been in the hospital for anything else, like seizures, surgeries, heart problems?
I had a seizure once. They said it was because of bad drugs. But I also came in for a CAT scan. They said it was for my kidneys, and I also took a test where I had to give them my pee for a day.
Are you having any pain now?
Yes, the pain is unbearable. I'm just looking for some medication or something to help with the pain.
When did your pain start?
I would say the pain started a few months ago now.
Can you describe the pain?
Well, the pain hurts so bad, it's like walking on hot coals or something.
On a scale of 0 being no pain and 10 being the worst pain you can imagine, what number is your pain right now?
10. My pain is always a 10. I would say 100, but they say I can only say 10, so I tell them it's 10.
Does the pain interfere with your daily activities?
Daily activities. I mean, I wake up in the morning, scrounge around in the trash, and look for food to eat. I don't really have much daily activities, but my dog wants to come around me. I can't go into a shelter, or people won't come around me because of the pus smells so bad and my feet look so bad.
Has anyone suggested that you go to the plasma center? I can't do that? Okay.
So, this is where I want the Jehovah's Witness to come out. So you want to say, my buddies want me to go to the plasma center to give plasma, but I'm a Jehovah's Witness. You know, so you don't have to say that scripture or say in Acts 15:20 to abstain from blood, but you at least need to talk about. That's where I want that to come out. It's, again, it's like more casual kind of, you know, what religion are you? You're mentioning it somewhere else, someplace earlier.
Okay.
And then it says, on good days I can find cans and bottles to recycle. It's just me and my dog. We don't need much.
Okay, I think, just so you know, it's daily activities. You go to the soup kitchen to get food, you scrounge around for something I can sell, and then my buddies, that takes you into the Jehovah's Witness.
Okay.
Want to try it again?
Yeah.
Does the pain interfere with your daily activities?
I don't have much daily activities. I go to the soup kitchen, I scrounge around for food and trash cans. It's just me and my dog, so we don't need much. I look for cans I can recycle. I mean, my buddies wanted me to go to the plasma center to give blood, but I'm a Jehovah's Witness. I don't believe in that. The scripture says in Acts 15:20 not to abstain from blood, so I stay away from that.
What kinds of things make the pain worse?
Well, especially the pus coming out. That's what makes it worse. It's killing me. And when they try to change the dressing on my feet, I tell them I need medication before because it hurts so bad.
What kinds of things have made it better?
Well, they give me antibiotics. They say it's going to make my feet feel better, but I don't feel any difference.
Has anyone in your family ever had any trouble with diabetes or foot ulcers?
No, my mother nor my father had any problems with diabetes, so I don't know how I can have them. Can you tell me?
Right now, I need to collect all the information I can, and then I can take a look at it in order to help you. You know, that's a good question. But do you mind if we continue with the interview, and I can answer that later?
Yes, that's okay. You are a student. I'll cut you a break. No one seems to ever know the answer to that question anyway.
What disruptions have the foot ulcers caused to your life?
Mainly, it's just my dog, Lassie. She's the only thing that loves me in this world. I live to take care of her. And no one will ever come around me because of all the pus and the wounds on my feet. They're disgusting.
My next question, is supposed to be, has it caused any disruptions for your family? But you already mentioned that you do not have any family except your mother. Is that correct?
Yes, my mother, she's still living. She kicked me out when she found out I was using. So she has her own problems. I don't expect her to deal with mine.
Do you have any source of monthly income?
No, I look for things around in the trash to recycle, to provide for food for my dog. I feed her before I feed myself.
Would you say that you make enough to meet your needs?
Well, I'm a drug addict. When you're an addict, there's never enough, If you want my advice, don't start. I know you were in college and you were thinking like I did, what's the harm in one time? But there is no one time. I mean, look at me. I'm probably going to die before I'm 40. I'm a mess.
I saw in your chart that you have Medicaid. Does that cover the costs of your medications and bandages?
I didn't know I had Medicaid. I don't know anything about that.
Let me see if I can get some more information on that for you. You say you live in the streets. You say you live on the streets. Do you sleep in a shelter?
No, I do not sleep in a shelter. I wish I could, but I can't. They don't seem to take dogs, and with the pus coming out of my foot, I wish I could go to the shelter. It would keep me from getting jumped, but I just have a tent that I stay with a few buddies of mine.
Do you like where you live?
No, I don't like it very much. I wish I could quit this addiction so I could live in a shelter or live like a normal person. Back home in Botswana, I lived good, and my father, when he died, I lost all hope. He was my anchor. He told me when we came here he was supposed to get better, but he didn't, and I just had to watch him waste away, and he lost his hair and everything, and then he got pneumonia and he died, and that was the end of it.
I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sure this has been very difficult for you.
Yes, it has been tough.
I remember you saying you go to the soup kitchen, or you try to eat. Is that correct?
Yes, I go to the soup kitchen to eat. There's a woman there, Miss Pearl, who cooks every Tuesdays and Sundays. She cooks food from back home.
Do you use any other resources from the community?
There's a medical truck that comes around from one of the hospitals. I can get new needles there. They give me extra because I'm a diabetic. They also give me bandages, but they said they ran out, so they told me to come here to get some more, but look where that got me.
Do you have any contact with your mother at all? Who would you go to if you needed help?
I need help all the time. She wouldn't be able to help me. My mother is a church woman. She has her own problems, and I'm a Jehovah's Witness. When she found out I was doing drugs, she wouldn't have that, so she just kicked me out.
How long would you say you have been homeless?
I would say since I was about 20. That's when my mother kicked me out. She actually let me stay after I dropped out of college because she thought I was going to clean up my act. Then one day she found me on the ground, not breathing, so when we got to the hospital and I awoke, they told her that I was on heroin, and she kicked me out the next day.
How were you taking heroin? Were you shooting it?
Oh, well, yes. Shoot it, snort it, smoke it, any way I can get high.
You mentioned that you were born in Botswana. Are there any customs or practices that are particularly important there?
Well, when we came over here, my family, my mother and my father, they brought home a lot of traditions. But when I was sick, my mother used to make me tea from the bark of a tree. Maybe I should do
hold
that.
on. So, I don't think you mentioned when I was 7. It's important, so, because you only have a slight accent, which I love your accent, by the way. It's perfect. But you moved here when you were 7, and your parents kept the same traditions. Like, so you kind of like, the way that I wanted to kind of portray that was that you were kind of like in a, you were amongst other people from Botswana, you know, wherever you were living. You know, probably, you know, maybe 10 families in the area. And that, so you kind of had the food, you know, like your mom cooked the food from Botswana and things along those lines. And then just make sure that whole thing about the village healers, that's in there. It's going to go off on the culture piece of it that you're going to get to in the next shoot, the next video shoot. Okay? But you want to make sure that you bring out that you came when you were 7.
So I'm going to do the Botswana question. Then you're going to say I moved when I was 7, but your parents kept the traditions. And then you talk about the food Miss Pearl, the only cook that makes anything from home, and then you go into Botswana. The village healers would, you know, that thing about cut and suck the blood for your father and all that stuff. And then the last thing you say, oh, when I was sick, my mother used to make me tea. Okay? You mentioned that you were born in Botswana. Are there any customs or practices that are particularly important?
Well, when I was 7, I moved here from Botswana, and my mother and father, they brought a lot of traditions from home, like the food and things. And yeah, I don't really have much traditions. There's a woman in the soup kitchen, Miss Pearl. She cooks every Tuesdays and Sundays. She makes things from back home. And back in home in Botswana, the village healers, they would suck the AIDS, they would suck the blood out of the victims to get rid of the AIDS. Guess that didn't really work for my father. You guys don't do that here, do you? But when I was 6, my mother, she would make tea from the bark of a tree. Maybe I should start doing that again.
Do you mind talking about your spiritual influences?
I'm a Jehovah's Witness. I don't go to church much, but I know what I'm supposed to do.
Can you tell me more about what gives your life meaning?
I believe in God, but I'm a little mad at him right now. I asked him to get rid of this addiction, but he hasn't. And I used to go to church, but I don't anymore. I know what I'm supposed to do. All I have in this world right now is my dog. And that's what matters to me. I live to take care of her.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask you some questions about your physical health.
Isn't that what you've been doing all along?
Well, as nurses, we just don't focus on the physical issues. We ask lots of questions about your life to try to find areas that we can help you improve your health in general.
How many questions are you going to ask?
We're about halfway through the interview.
Boy, you sure are nosy. All right, then. Ask your questions.
Yes, and all of the information will be kept confidential, and I'm collecting it in order to see what your biggest needs are and what resources we have to help you better. Now, thanks for sticking with me on this. I know it's a lot of questions. Tell me about the condition of your teeth and gums.
No, they chew just fine.
Please tell me if you have any of the following. Sore tongue or mouth?
No,
Dry mouth?
sometimes.
Bleeding gums?
No,
Sore throat?
no,
Hoarseness?
no.
Lesions that have not healed?
Not in my mouth, just on my feet.
Okay. I want to be sure that I have the correct placement and description of your foot ulcers. Your chart says that you have a 3 centimeter ulcer on your left heel that has broken through all of the skin, and a 5 to 6 centimeter ulcer on the pad of your right foot just behind the toes, where you can see some bone when the bandages are off. Is that correct?
Well, I don't know about seeing any bone through them, but I know I've had the one on my right foot the longest, and there's so much pus coming out. I just want to get this fixed, and there's no one who's giving me anything to get these fixed. I don't know what to do.
Good. Let's try that one again. Okay, that's good. By the way, super job, man. Bravo. I don't know if I can see any bone, but I know that it is deep. Okay, I think that's to say. And I've found on my right foot the longest, you know. I did not have any shoes, and I was walking on hot asphalt. I did not know it was hot because of my, and then you get into that, and then I'll come in. And it's peripheral neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy.
Neuropathy.
Yeah, that.
See, okay.
And remember, like, look like you're thinking, like you're trying to think of the word.
Yeah.
Because you've heard it 100 times, you just can't.
I just want to be sure I have the correct placement and description of your foot ulcers. Your chart says that you have a 3 centimeter ulcer on your left heel that has broken through all of the skin, and a 5 to 6 centimeter ulcer on the pad of your right foot just behind the toes where you can see some bone when the bandages are off. Is this correct?
I don't know anything about seeing the bone. I just know they are very deep. I've had the one on my foot, the right foot, for the longest time, and I don't know, it just hurts so bad. Okay, I forgot what I was supposed to say.
It's okay.
Okay, walking without
Lost
shoes.
You forgot the shoes.
You did not have
didn't
any shoes, yeah.
You were walking on hot asphalt, and you didn't know. It was
That's right after the right foot the longest. I don't have any shoes on, okay? So you want to just start your question again? Or do you want me to ask it?
I mean, I can start.
Okay.
I don't know about seeing any bone. I just know that they're very deep. I've had the one on my right foot the longest. I walk around without shoes on the hot asphalt, and I can't really tell if it's hot because of the neuro.
Do you mean your peripheral neuropathy from your diabetes?
Yeah, yes, that, yes.
Do you have any wounds, sores, ulcers on your skin other than your feet?
I had them on my arms, but they seem to have gone now, pretty much gone. The only thing is just my feet.
Do you or have you in the past ever had any of the following? Sores,
No.
dryness,
Well, hold on.
Yeah,
Just
def-
on my feet.
yes.
do you, and I have a few on my hands and arms from skin popping out, but they're pretty much gone.
It's up.
That's okay?
Yeah. It's
Okay. Do you now, or have you ever in the past, let's try that again. Do you now, or have you in the past ever had sores,
Yes, just the ones on my feet.
dryness,
Sometimes in the winter.
lumps,
No,
hair, scalp changes,
no,
rashes,
no.
color changes,
Well, look at my skin. Looks horrible.
itching,
Only when it's dry.
nail changes?
No.
Do you mind if I check your... Do you want to do this? We should say it. You can reach out.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, do it like you did that.
And it's Turgor? Turgor?
Turgor.
Turgor?
Turgor.
Turgor?
Skin turgor.
Okay. Do you mind if I check your skin turgor?
What is that?
It's a small test where I just pinch your skin a little to see if you're dehydrated.
Oh, no. I'm not dehydrated. I was when I came in here. They said I almost shut down my kidneys. So they sat me down and pumped me with fluids, but Now everything is working fine.
Do you have any history of unusual vomiting, diarrhea?
No. None of that.
Do you have any trouble with bowel movements?
No. The only trouble I have is sometimes finding a bathroom to do the bowel movements.
How often would you say you have a bowel movement?
Once, sometimes twice a day.
Do you have any recent changes in bowel habits?
No.
Do you now, or have you in the past ever had rectal bleeding,
No.
tarry stools,
Tari,
tori,
Tari,
tari?
like tar on the street.
Okay. Do you now, or have you in the past ever had rectal bleeding,
No.
tarry stools,
Toddy? Do you mean black? No.
hemorrhoids,
No.
constipation?
No.
Okay. How about your urination?
My what?
How about your pee?
Oh, my pee? Do I pee? Yes, I pee. Everything's working fine.
Do you want to do that line, the rest of that? I had some problem with my kidney because I cannot get my sugar under control, but they seem fine to me. Okay?
Well, but they seem fine to me. You know what I mean? Like, you're not convinced that you have something wrong with your kidneys, because for you, you're peeing like normal, nothing's changed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. How about your urination?
My what?
How about your pee?
My pee? Do I pee? Yes, I pee. They said I had some problems with my kidneys and that would cause problems, but I feel like everything's fine to me. I'm peeing just fine.
What do you do to be sure that you urinate on a regular basis?
What do you mean? I mean, I drink coffee. That makes you go both ways.
Do you now, or have you in the past ever had polyuria,
No.
nocturia,
No.
burning or pain with urination,
No.
hematuria,
No.
urgency,
No.
change in force or amount of stream,
No.
hesitancy,
No.
dribbling,
No.
incontinence,
No.
urinary infections,
No.
urinary stones,
No.
and the physical level. Physical activity. Can you describe your usual activity level?
Well, I wake up in the morning, I go to the soup kitchen, I scrounge around the trash.
Hold on.
Yeah,
I look like I live on the streets. You already got to that question. You already did that
Alright.
one. I look like I
Not the
live on
same.
the streets. I've always, I have to always be moving. If I stay in one place for too long, I'm going to get jumped. They know me out there. You know, Lassie is the only person I can trust in this world. You have to be smart when you live on the streets.
Want to try that again?
What was the beginning?
Yeah, I live in the streets. I have to always be moving. If I stay in one place too long, I'm going to get jumped. They know me out there, you know. Lassie's the only person I can trust in this world. You have to be smart when you're on the streets. Something like
Can
that.
you throw in there too, you didn't mention it back one place, and one of the things that she wanted was like a sleep deprivation. So can you also mention, like, you have to sleep with one eye open out here?
Oh, yeah.
Like, just mention that in this course, because I think it would fit there as well.
Cassie's coming right up. It's the next question.
Well, but it would be a good lead into that. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Oh, I see, because I say it again.
Mhm.
Okay, all right, yeah, don't add it in there, but it'll be the next question. We can just put it in
Yeah,
there.
because the next question, do you feel tired easily? And then, yeah, I'm tired. Wish I could sleep without needing to. Keep one eye open. Okay. Physical activity. Can you describe your usual activity level?
Look, I live on the streets. I go to the soup kitchen. I look for bandages. Oh.
It's okay. Look, I live in the streets. I have to keep
I want you to
moving.
read it, because I just think we're farther down in the script. Just take a minute to look at that right in this area, because I'm sure,
Live on the streets.
I can only imagine, because I had a hard time with the few lines I had.
We're coming to the soup kitchen question. It's on the next page, so
Yeah,
that's
I
the whole
think-
thing.
You're doing
Oh,
great,
okay.
though. I mean, I'm so impressed. Should never have remembered all this. Should have gotten people who were nice and young and had plenty of room in their brains, you know?
There you go.
I know.
You mean not like us?
Exactly. Bethany had all these lines. I had like just a few, and I'm like, ugh.
Stacy and Rich would be knocking this off like a piece of cake. That's all they do. You know what I mean? They sit here. It's a photographic memory.
Mm-hmm.
You hear them laughing.
Oh, I already said this earlier. Should I still say it again?
Yeah, because it's going to be like there's times where it repeats, and the reason that I put some repeats in there is, or that it, even if it wasn't in there before, but you said it, because in the process of interviews, things are going to be mentioned more than once, because you're going to just say things that you think are pertinent to that, but then they're going to ask you a specific question like this, and then it's going to get down to that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, okay.
Physical activity?
Yes.
Okay. Ready?
I live on the streets.
Okay.
I look for
You live
my-
in the streets, have to keep moving.
Mhm.
If you stay one place too long, get jumped. They know me out there, you know. And then Lassie, can trust. You have to be smart when you live on the streets.
Yeah.
Physical activity. Can you describe your usual activity level?
Look, I live on the streets. I have to keep moving out there. They know me out there, you know. I could get jumped if I don't keep moving, so I keep moving, and Lassie's the only one I trust out there. I live for my dog, but it's hard. You know, you have to be smart when you live on the streets.
Do you feel like you get tired easily?
Yeah, I'm tired. Tired all the time. I wish I didn't have to sleep with one eye open. There's no one you can trust out there.
Do you have any cultural, social, economic influences on your diet?
Look, I'm homeless. I'm not picky with what I eat. I try not to eat anything with too much sugar because I am diabetic. But other than that, I feed my dog before I feed me. But I just try to eat whatever I can find.
Okay, let's do that one again. 'Cause that's the one where you end up, that's why it's so good for me to come to the hospital.
Yeah.
They not give you anything. And all you do is just say, look, I eat what I eat. I don't try to eat anything because of sugar and diabetes. You know, the saying is beggars can't be choosers. I eat what I can and when I can. Okay? Let's try that again.
So the first part of it was fine, just the only piece that, the other thing I would also like to do is add his height and weight in here, because I think they have to do like a calculation on it. So.
Oh, okay.
Do you know how much, how,
I was
you're
gonna s-
5'11",
I was gonna say like 135, or maybe 130.
you're supposed to be 90 kilos, which would be, that's too heavy for you. I'm gonna have to change that in the chart.
Because I was thinking he would be like skinny. He's 5'11", tall. He would be like 130,
Nah, not that skinny. Let's say 160.
160.
160 pounds, but make sure you say pounds. And they'll have to do the calculation in kilograms, but I'll,
He could get by. You could say 155 if that sounds better for you.
no, 160 is good.
Oh, okay.
So you're 5'11" and 160 pounds. So you're gonna just ask him, you know, can you tell me how tall you are? Can you tell me how much you weigh? And then lead into the.
Can you tell me how tall you are?
I'm 5'11".
How much do you weigh?
I would say about 160 pounds.
Do you have any cultural, social, economic influences on your diet?
Look, I'm homeless. I'm not picky with what I eat. You know, I scrounge around and look for things. I try not to eat anything that's too much in sugar because of my diabetes. You know, but that's why I like coming to the hospital. I know when I come here, they don't give me anything that I can't eat.
Do you have any concerns, past medical problems or surgeries related to your ability to eat, drink, process your food, or eliminate waste?
Wait, what's that one?
Huh?
What
No,
was-
only my diabetes.
Okay.
Do you have any concerns, past medical problems or surgeries related to your ability to eat, drink, process your food, or eliminate waste?
No, just my diabetes.
Describe any tests, for example, x-rays or blood work, done for problems related to your ability to eat, drink, process your food, or eliminate waste.
I came in here one time for a CAT scan, but other than that, I did one of those tests where I had to give them my pee for a day, and they said it was something about my kidneys to see if they were good, but everything seems to be working fine to me.
Do you now, or have you in the past ever had, and describe if you do, abdominal pain,
No.
jaundice,
Jaundice? No.
change in appetite,
No.
food intolerance,
No.
liver problems,
No.
nausea,
Nope.
excessive belching,
No.
gallbladder problems,
No.
vomiting, regurgitation,
No.
indigestion,
No.
trouble swallowing,
No.
vomiting blood, bold in stool. What is
Just
that?
like blood.
That's what I thought.
Blood in your stool. Vomiting blood or blood in your stool.
Vomiting blood, blood in the stool.
No.
Okay. Please tell me what you will typically eat in 24 hours when you are not here in the hospital.
Well, I don't eat breakfast at the soup kitchen because it's so early. It's like 6 o'clock to 7. Who's awake at that time? So when I wake up, I get what I can and get a cup of coffee for myself. Then I can usually find a piece of breakfast sandwich in the trash and I feed it to Lassie and myself. And at 4:30, if it isn't the summertime, they open up the soup kitchen for dinner. Last time I was there, I had 2 bologna sandwiches and some chips. And then I grabbed a non-frosted donut for my snack later that night.
How would you describe mealtime? Pleasant, stressful, rushed, unhurried?
I would say it was a fine dining experience.
How would you describe your appetite?
Appetite? If you mean if I have one, yes, I have appetite.
Are there any foods that you avoid?
I don't really like vegetables, especially out of the can.
Do you take any vitamins or other nutritional supplements, high protein drinks, high fiber supplements, etc.?
No, none of that.
How much alcohol do you use?
I don't drink alcohol. I see my buddies on the streets, a couple of winos, They vomit and piss all everywhere, and I don't want to end up like that. I drank a little in college, but I stopped. I don't drink anymore. I stay away from that stuff.
You have talked a lot about your drug use. Can you please tell me what drugs you use?
I use heroin, crack, meth, shoot it, snort it, smoke it, whatever works.
How often do you use drugs? Daily?
I would say 2 times, sometimes 3 times a day if I'm lucky.
Have you ever used sleeping pills, diet pills, painkillers?
I like Oxycontin too, but that shit's expensive. Last time I paid $25, I didn't even get high. I think the guy was ripping me off or something.
Can you tell me about how you take your check, Can you tell me about how you take your check?
No, it should be
Yeah.
how you check your blood sugar, how you, so take your, you're supposed to, yeah, take your out,
Right.
how you check your blood sugar.
Can you tell me about how you check your blood sugar and give yourself insulin?
Well, I don't really check it anymore. The little machine is broken, so usually when I go to the hospital, they give me a bottle of regular and a bottle of NPH. I take 20 units of regular and 10 units of NPH in the morning, 30 units before dinner. And then before my snack at night, I take 20 units of NPH, and then that's up. All right.
You did so good. that just leave it at NPH and be done.
Yeah.
Can he?
And you must
does
do
he
it
have-
again. And you want to repeat, check my blood sugar? Then you start with that?
Okay.
I
Okay.
can't, right?
Yeah, right. I mean, again, what you said was perfect. Like your units and everything, you did really well. So it's the machine's broken, and they have these little strips that you have to put in, and you have to buy those. And
Oh,
you
yeah.
couldn't
Can't afford
afford
those
them.
little new
Can't afford
strips.
them. So it's like, check my blood sugar, I can't. My machine is broken, besides you have to buy those little strips and I can't afford them. When I leave the hospital, they usually, and that's why you don't know you have Medicaid, because you never get your prescriptions filled.
Yeah.
Or, like you never deal with any of that. Like the hospital is really basically having to take care of you because you won't take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about how you check your blood sugar and to give yourself insulin?
Check my blood sugar. I can't. My machine is broken, and besides, you have to use those little strips. I can't afford those. So when I leave the hospital, they usually give me a bottle of regular and NPH. I mean, I take 20 units of regular and 10 units of NPH in the morning, and I take 30 units of regular before dinner. And then at night, I take, before my snack, I take 20 units of NPH.
Is that the way the doctor has told you to take it?
The doctor changes his mind every time. This is what works for me on the streets.
And then I would just wrap it up with like, thank you so much. I'm going to go home and, take a look at all of this and see what ways we can offer, what things we can offer you to help you in the future or something along those lines.
Thank you. That concludes the interview. I'd like to thank you for taking the time, and I will collect all this information and take it home, and hopefully we'll be able to put something together so we can better serve you. But I do appreciate your coming in and sitting for the interview.
Yes, it was a very long interview. Maybe this time you guys will do something instead of putting me on the street.
Thank you.
Okay, great.
Great. It's a wrap.
That's all right.
Job.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Nice work. Nice accent, too.
Excellent job.
Yeah.
Excellent accent.
Thank you. So that's a wrap?
That's a wrap. We'll find out. We got to wait for the word from
Oh,
Master
yeah.
Control.